Welcome back to Tarot by the Bay. I'm David. This is going to be a reading on the desperation of Donald Trump as we get closer and closer to the election. Now, I could do this reading on a daily basis because on a daily basis we're getting closer and closer to the election. And Donald Trump is always in the news for some reason. He's such a freaking drama queen. My microphone here. Now, what's spurring this on? I will explain that in just a moment. First, I do want to thank you for watching these videos and supporting my channel. I appreciate it. It's been quite a ride for the, 20 months or so that I've been doing this. And I just want to show appreciation and thank you for the support that you've given me over this time. I do hope that you find these readings insightful. Some quick little housekeeping here. I am doing a live on Twin Tarot with my brother, and we're going to have the Divine Miss Mickey, our dear friend from Australia, is going to join us. So, an hour of mayhem on Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific time, 9 p.m. Eastern time. About 2 in the morning in Europe, and a mere 3 p.m. in Hawaii. So if you're interested in that, check it out. I'll put a link in the community page. Twin Tarot will have a link on its community page because that's going to be the host of the podcast. Anything else? Oh, yeah, just some quick news. George Santos did go into court today and pled guilty. He will be sentenced on February 1st of 2025. I know Blind Squirrel is one of my lawyers in the audience there who does provide some legal breakdown. Seems like an awful long time, 6 months between the pleading and when the sentencing is. Maybe that's not a long time. It just seems that way. Okay, the legal system works very slowly, but George Santos did go through with it. He did plead guilty, and the guidelines for the sentencing is it's like 6 years, and he has to pay like about $370,000 in restitution. Okay, so what's been going on with the drama king himself, Donald Trump? Well, apparently he went onto social and posted up a bunch of AI-generated pictures of Taylor Swift. Some of the pictures are of women. And again, these are purported to be AI generated. I don't know how you tell. It's interesting and a tad frightening. Women's they're wearing t-shirts that say "Swifties for Trump" on it, and multiple pictures, and then a picture, obviously AI generated picture of the famous Uncle Sam, "I want you," for like the U.S. Army. But it's got Taylor Swift in with the hat and the outfit saying, I'm supporting Donald Trump, something to that effect. There's another TikToker I watch who goes by the name of Tom, and he provides some political commentary, and he was the one that gave me the heads up that this was even happening. It's frightening to see. It just is. And his take on it was Trump, as he sinks lower and lower in the poll numbers, he's trying more and more desperate things to get out of it. But this is like somebody in quicksand. The more they struggle, the more they sink, and the faster they sink. Tom's point he was bringing is he's alienated the libertarians by basically going in there and just dumping all over them, basically saying they're idiots if they didn't vote for him. Then he went to the National Association of Black Journalists and questioned Kamala Harris's race and just said a bunch of crazy uncle stuff that didn't resonate with them. And now he's going after Taylor Swift's fans, trying to convince them that really Taylor Swift fans are voting for Trump because, ISIS interrupted a Taylor Swift concert, so clearly only Trump can deal with ISIS. I think that's the connection he's going for there. But this is just one of those instances where, going back to Anthony Scaramucci, he was about 10 days he was the communication director. I guess he wanted to knife too many people. They got him out of there pretty quick. But Scaramucci was suggesting that Trump, as the poll numbers drop, you could see Trump trying to leave the race. Most likely trying to cut a deal to prevent him from going to prison on federal and state crimes. So lots of deals to be cut. Lots of pardons that need to be had or sentence commutations to be had. I don't know if he's got enough leverage to do it, to be honest with you. Especially if his poll numbers drop, because he's not negotiating from a position of strength. So let's take a look at the energy around Donald Trump to the point where he basically on True Social put up pictures of Taylor Swift and Taylor Swift fans supporting him. It's really the turd is circling the bowl. And it's ready to go clug, clug, clug. Entertainment purposes only. And if that isn't the turd going down the toilet bowl going glug, 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 I really don't know what is. The Tower card. It's all coming apart. He's losing it. This guy is absolutely losing it. And he's now he 2 of Wands planning. So we got the Tower card as the foundation of the reading. Sudden changes, sudden endings, the collapsing. Crossed by the 2 of Wands. This is him, trying to plan for the future, trying to figure a way out with choices to be made. I think Trump understands polling, for what it's worth. Maybe Melania has taught him a few things. He understands polling pretty well and the implications of it. Let's please throw in, just as a quick aside, the rallies that Trump is having that are only 50% full. And they cover the upper bowls of those rallies with tarps so nobody can sit there to make it look like the lower 2 bowls are more full. And then he has to say, we turned away 35,000 people on a venue that seats 8,000, and there were probably only 5,000 or 6,000 people in the venue. Empty seats abound. He understands that the enthusiasm for his waning. And if you look at the crowd energy in there, there's no electricity whatsoever. It is dead, dead, dead. And he gets it. He's seeing it. Then he sees Kamala Harris getting these huge crowds, and people are electric. And he's like, oh, Kamala Harris, she used AI to make her crowds look bigger. That's what you see. Again, he says the quiet part out loud. That's the stuff that he does. Let's bring it back into here. He's spiraling out of control. He doesn't know what to do. He knows that his crowds are dead and he has to project onto Kamala Harris. He's trying to figure what his next move is, and he needs to make a next move because what he's doing right now is not working for him. In the past, the Devil card, he relies on MAGA and the media to just give him a pass, and people just supported his bright orange ideas. But that's in the past. How interesting. Donald's ability to control the narrative is in the past. The minute Kamala Harris took over, that whole narrative went away. Look at these terrible cards. You got the Tower, the Devil, and now current situation is the 3 of Swords. Heartbreak and betrayal. He feels betrayed. Where his team isn't doing enough for him. His supporters aren't doing enough for him. The Republicans in Congress aren't doing enough for him. It's never Donald not doing enough. It's everyone around him is not doing enough. There's no ownership in this. He's going to blame everybody else around him on this. Overarching energy is the 10 of Coins. Almost anybody else I would be talking about their legacy. With Donald Trump, this Pentacles could be about health, wealth, or values. So from a wealth point of view, I think the grifting isn't nearly as successful. I'm sure he got a bump that when he got shot at or something along those lines, but there's just it's like MAGA's running its course, and it's at the tail end of the storm. It's no longer raining hard now. Now it's kind of drizzling, and you see the clouds parting in the distance, and you know that it's not going to be raining much longer. This could be health issues, that the dementia or the Alzheimer's that runs in his family could be catching up with him. He's not a spring chicken. He's only getting older. it's catching up. Basically almost like his legacy is catching up to him. He caught lightning in a bottle in 2016, and his power has been waning ever since. Lesson to be learned is the magician. I think the magician has run out of tricks. He's trying to figure out his next trick. He's been exposed not as a manifester of good things for the citizenry, but as an illusionist. The whole illusion of the invincible Trump is gone. I think, honestly, when you're looking at poll numbers, that's what we're seeing here. His illusion of invincibility is gone. Donald Trump is an incredible manifester. That guy has gotten away with so much. It's incredible. He just uses his manifestations for the most base reasons. Imagine if he actually had the greater good in his heart, what this guy could have done. Out comes the emperor. Carrie and I just did a few readings on this. Donald Trump will not be king. He will not be king of the United States. He will not be president of the United States. He's not even really much in charge of Trump.org anymore. We now have an emperor without a kingdom, without a throne. And he, how is he going to go out like a king? Now, again, as an emperor, he's going to try and force his subjects into believing what he says, to believing that he's wearing clothes, that sort of thing. The other thing with that emperor could be that Trump is now going to have to look to other strong men to bail him out. Because if there's one thing Trump likes more than anything else, it's being bailed out. And then he can just misrepresentative of what a clever negotiator he is. God. He's just pathetic. All right. How's Taylor Swift going to react? Now, we didn't get much of a fallout from that. I can't imagine that there's a bunch of people on Truth Social that are big Taylor Swift fans. You know what I mean? That's not exactly their music, not exactly their performer that they're going to worship. If Ted Nugent was out there, now that might be something different, but we're talking Taylor Swift. So I think that other than the typical misogynistic, yeah, it's about time those women figured it out type of comments, you're not going to really see anything. I don't think you're going to convince a bunch of rural girls that they've been wrong this whole time and that they should be voting red. I don't think that's going to work. But I'm curious, what's Taylor Swift going to do? Because you're almost forcing Taylor Swift to respond to this. And he's already concerned that Taylor Swift's going to do this to the point where he called her beautiful. So clearly if he calls her beautiful, then she should do nothing but be flattered and never say a bad word about Donald Trump again in her life. What's Taylor Swift going to do about this? Well, we got the Four of Wands. We got the wedding card. We've got bringing people together, bringing stuff in, opening day. I think Trump has basically called for Taylor Swift to take action. If she was needing a sign that she needed to weigh in on the 2024 election, Trump just gave it to her. And he gave her the biggest push possible. I'm not saying Ace of Pentacles is the cross. This isn't like her going to be suing him for anything like that. It's a big push on values. Taylor Swift, when she gives her endorsement, it's because it's her personal values that she sees out there. Project 2025, I can imagine, is the antithesis of Taylor Swift's values. And between Project 2025 and now Trump with fake AI pictures out there showing Swifties saying, oh, we want to vote for Trump. I'm sure that's exactly what they sound like. She's going to respond to that. Underneath it all, the Three of Cups, women celebrating, the celebration. The Democrats are waiting. They're having their DNC. Having Taylor Swift give her endorsement in and around this week. If she was at the DNC and did it, that would be an even bigger boss move than doing it afterwards. But I think Donald Trump is forcing Taylor Swift into action. In the past, Queen of Wands, Taylor Swift she's a force all on her own. By the way, she's also a childless cat lady. Okay, I don't know that. I don't know if she has cats, but she doesn't have children yet. Hot gossip I saw on a title of an article I didn't read was Travis Kelce wanted to make sure there's a rock solid prenup in place before those two ever get married. I would agree with him as long as that prenup is basically saying that Taylor Swift gets to keep her gazillions because, frankly, that girl's earned it. I'm assuming that's where he's going with it. I hope I'm not wrong. If I'm wrong, then she's dating the wrong guy. But yeah, she's a boss. She's a queen. She's that new feminine energy that's coming in. You've got Kamala Harris with this. You've got Taylor Swift that's got this. You've got your Jasmine Crockett's. You've got these women who are willing to take action and are unafraid. Current situation, she's been lying low. She's been thinking about it. But again, I think with Trump busting this out, he's going to force her out of her contemplations and into a place of action. Overarching energy is the Nine of Coins. What a great card for! I use this for Kamala Harris. Now I'm starting to see some interesting overlaps between Kamala Harris and Taylor Swift. Taylor Swift, I think, is a bit warmer in personality, but no less driven in goals and idealism. Overarching energy is the Nine of Coins. The woman of wealth is going to be coming out and delivering this message. Wealth and values. The lesson to be learned is the Five of Swords. If you want to play with fire, you're going to get burned. You want to fight fire, you're going to fight fire with fire. You want to go out there and say Taylor Swift's supporters are supporting Trump and you're going to put up fake AI things, you're going to force this woman to take action against you. She's going to stop laying around waiting for the right time and say, well, I guess what? Now's the right time. You think that my supporters vote for you? Watch what happens when I tell them who to vote for, Donald. Outcome is the Knight of Pentacles. Yeah, Trump's basically forced her. Now this could be a mercenary card on a lower energy, but you've got action. You've got this big Ace of Pentacles push. She's going forward with that push. Congratulations, Donald. You just activated Taylor Swift. I'm not saying Taylor Swift wasn't going to be activated for this election, but if she was thinking about it, maybe contemplating whether she was going to do it or not, congratulations. Now she is. And you want to know who did it? That would be you. You've got nobody to blame but yourself. Oh, you know what? Because I'm just a petty little bitch. How's Donald for a little for Carter on how Donald's gonna react when Taylor Swift puts her endorsement behind the candidates that best represent her values. Okay? I believe it was Marsha Blackburn that she spoke out against, and she is about as big a MAGA troll as you're going to find. Okay, so how's Donald Trump going to react when Taylor Swift probably sooner rather than later gives her endorsement for the candidates that best represent her values to her fan base? How is Donald Trump going to react to that? Victory. Let's see, the World card, Page of Wands. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. I'm saying, oh, wow, because Wheel of Fortune is when things are in play. The World card is when they come to an end. These symbols right here are all representative. These have the wings and are flying. These don't. These are now the stationary ones here. And then we have that cross where Donald Trump was trying to come up with an action. Like, what do I do? What do I do? Well, I think he just... you have the thrill of victory and the agony of defeat. I think Donald Trump has sealed his defeat with this. He's... And given victory to Taylor Swift's endorsement. When somebody gets her endorsement and she goes forward with that messaging about her endorsement, you took something that was in question, in flux, and you solidified it. And you did it to yourself. So they're not getting... Okay, so Spirit's not letting me be a petty little bitch after all. He's just going to say, you know what? Taylor Swift's endorsement is a final nail in the coffin. Might be a little bit much, but it sure is a huge nail in the coffin, and it's going to be something that basically seals the victory for the Democrats. Why? Because you're going to activate a lot of young voters. Some of those voters, I'm sure, would have been voting anyways, but now that you're going to get a push like that, you might get another couple 100,000 young people who maybe were on the fence, maybe thought they might vote, may not vote, weren't going to vote. Now they're going to vote, and they're going to vote. They're going to vote the way that Taylor Swift is going to recommend. That represents her values, who represents her fans' values. Obviously, not all of them will do that, but a lot of them will, and that just might be what it takes to push a swing state from Trump to Harris. That could be what it takes to take a local legislative race to turn it blue, a Congress position or a senator. You need everything in the House and everything in the Senate. You need it all. You want to get the state legislatures and your local governments to build up those grassroots campaigns. This will have a ripple effect, not just at the top of the ticket, but all the way through. Okay? I hope that is what happens. I think that's what's going to happen. That's my translation of what's going to happen. We shall see. Take care. I'll catch you on the next video.